Today we continue with our Kitzur Shulchan Aruch class. Today is class number 55. All right, and we start with the Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and it says public announcements. Okay. Traditional Jewish community have used social pressure in dealing with publicly observance, those whose private behavior included blatant violation of the basic halacha. Okay. If all this fails, it is permissible to publicize the fact that the otherwise observant Jew is guilty of immorality on a regular basis. If the disclosure will prompt him to repent. So in olden days, it was very simple. So and people were afraid of it. Why is that? Because basically people were living in small towns, small villages, and basically if they publicize that this guy is no good, he does not do whatever he does not do, that doesn't. So basically, people are not going to marry his children, or if nobody is going to marry his sisters. Basically, so it was very, very dangerous. So this public pressure worked very well in most of the cases. Not always, of course, there is rebellious people, but so today they say if there is you think there is opportunity that this social pressure would work, so that's what you need to do. Similarly, rabbinical courts have authority to post signs informing the public of someone's refusal to comply with the court's ruling. Social pressure is often the only means through which the rabbinical court can enforce their decisions. So basically, how does it work? The people came to the Beis Din, to litigants, and Beis Din said, okay, Reuven has to pay Shimon. Right? And Reuven said, I'm not going to pay, I'm going to take him to the secular court. So this rabbinical court has the right to publicize everywhere that we reached a decision, and he refused to comply, basically, right? And if they publicize around the whole town, let's say whatever in the whole area, with all of the shuls in the area, so everybody would know. So and the news is going to spread out. So if the only option he has to move out, basically. But when he moves, he's going to move out. People are usually noisy and they ask where you're from. Say I'm from this community, or even approximately, so they would find out. So that's the only thing that the court can do. Okay.
Question: when, for example, in this situation, let's say basically gets kicked out of the community. Long story short, right? But when is it right to get rid of someone? For example, in this parsha, Lech Lecha, right? Avram basically said wanted to be nice to Lot. But at the same time, we're going to go our separate paths. So when did you go your separate paths, and when do you keep someone saying, no, he'll get better?
So I guess it's on a case-by-case basis. So in the case of Lot, so hi, Or, how are you? All right. So the question is, when do you stop to bring somebody closer, or could you move your camera a little so we see only your nose a little? Okay, that's it. Okay, maybe a little lower, if possible. Okay. Okay, good, perfect. All right, thank you. So basically, so you try your best. I mean, we try not to exclude anybody. Right, we're all responsible for one another. But in some point, you just give up. And my personal approach, I don't want to say I'm perfect example, but my personal approach. So I have only limited time in my life. You understand? I have to learn myself. I have to do mitzvah myself. I have to do many things, right? And so I try to approach person 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. He's not interested. So I would approach him maybe once in a few months, send him some links. That's it. But I'm not going to dedicate a lot of time, because there are other people who require my time. You understand? So, but if you say somebody is rebellious and he's not interested, and he's dafka maybe like in front of you shows that he's not interested, I mean, just get rid of him. Don't go there. So HaShem said, you know what, Abraham, you're very holy. Nobody's arguing. You're very holy, but you have to get out. This place is not for you. And many times that's the only option for you to leave and go to a different place, to a different community, different synagogue, different yeshiva, different. Understand? That's the thing. So it's on a case-by-case basis, of course. So we're on the middle of learning the halachas of Shmona Esrei. So it's in the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, it's Siman 18. And we're going to do now halacha number 8. Okay, so it's very long halacha, Baruch HaShem. So let's do it with commentaries. Okay, one should not hold anything in his hands. So David asked us, I think, last time or time before that, during the Shmona Esrei prayer. Okay, commentary. The attention necessary to ensure that the items do not fall can detract from the requirement of concentration on his prayer. Right, it's Shulchan Aruch, Mishnah Berurah, etc. This halach applies to the recitation of Shema, Psuki Dezimra as well, Mishnah Berurah. So basically, when you pray, you have to concentrate on your prayer and not. So the siddur is different, right? So besides the siddur, for example, what would be a good example? What would be a good example? So okay, so I in a place where I used to work, so we have mincha, and the mincha where I used to go was like in a delivery entrance. You know, like there is like mall, stores, and then behind the stores there's like a long corridor when they do delivery from the back. So, and they were nice enough, so they'll let us in. They need special ID to let us in because they know Jews are not going to steal, not going to take like anything, right? Not going to bother anybody. So we would stay there and pray. So basically people would pass in front of us, behind us, non-Jews deliver. Okay, but not. So what I'm trying to say. So some people would have like a job interview, and they would come with a suit, with a jacket, like a raincoat, and a fancy schmancy bags, and they were afraid to put it down because, of course, it's a delivery address. It's not the cleanest place in the world, right? It's dusty, maybe out like on the floor, of course. Maybe dirty from the wheels or the hand racks and stuff like that. I mean, okay. So, and they would keep all of these things in their hands. So I would say that this would be very distracting. So he keeps siddur and he keeps his raincoat because I don't know no hooks. I mean, it's like a service entrance. You understand? So this is my example. Okay, continue.
If I were to wear my raincoat in such a situation, would it be going against the halacha of not wearing clothes you wouldn't wear by davening?
No. What you're referring to, we didn't get to it, but this halacha they speaks specifically of, for example, if a person always wears a hat, so he should pray with the hat, right? So this is article of clothing that he usually using for prayer. You understand? So outside, for example, or in an office or whatever, on his job, he does not he does not wear a hat, right? But when he would go prayer, so he would wear a hat, or he would wear a jacket. So not everybody wear jacket all day long. But I know many people, especially in that minyan that I went to, so not many, some people would have a special jacket in their office, and when need to pray, they would wear a jacket and pray. And then even bring like carry in their hands the jacket before the mincha, they would put it on and then take it off because it's hot outside. So basically, that was the things. But extra things you can have, there is no problem. I mean, it's better for sure. It's better to hold it in your hands, and it's annoying, and it's sliding down, and then you have to hold the siddur. But the siddur means like tiny siddur, like pocket-sized siddur. It's also like you have to keep it to your face. So, I mean, it's very inconvenient to hold all these things.
In all these situations, for example, let's say over here, you don't know where to put the coat, sword, and so forth, and let's say you can't find your shoes to wear or something. Okay, in these situations, is it better? At what point do you say, okay, I should go daven and disregard the halacha? Meaning, let's say, I'll give you an example.
No, just wear the coat. There is no problem. Just wear the coat. What's the problem?
I agree, but let's say, for example, the shoes. Let's say, okay, in this situation, let's say they're gonna start Shemona Ezra. Do you say, okay, I'm gonna go down in slippers? We'll set the halacha to the side. Do you say that or no?
I think so. To daven with a minion, I would say yes, set aside. Daven with a slipper, so.
Understood.
But by yourself, you would not do it. Okay. So continue. So I mean, from this sentence from the beginning, one should not hold anything in his hand during the Shemona Esrei prayer, except siddur or a machzor if he needs it. So I mean, if he remembers by heart, maybe he does not need it. So machzor is just a reminder, is a special prayer book for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and some people have machzor for holidays, like beautiful thing. I mean, I usually, me personally, I use regular siddur for holidays, so I have to jump from this page to that page to the end of the book, front of the book. Like, okay, you have to be always on guard. But in machzor, Arshkol did amazing job. They have all of this. You just say they open on a Pesach. Only things that pertain to Pesach. Okay.
Rabbi, does this halacha that you named that you always have, let's say, to always look inside of the siddur, right? If someone's davening with a siddur.
No. I'm saying it's not such halacha. He said if you need it. So yeah. I said it's proper to down the siddur because you have concentration. You don't look outside. You concentrate on the words.
No, I agree with you, but if someone's using a siddur, I'm pretty sure the halacha is not to look outside of the siddur at all. We read it last time in class, no?
I remember, maybe I'm not getting it. So say it again. So he's like,
when someone has a siddur, right? If someone doesn't have a siddur, okay, go, do what you're doing. But if someone does have a siddur and he's reading from the siddur, don't look outside of the siddur.
Or he can close his eyes, basically.
Oh, he could. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically to not to look at everything that is moving around. Mm-hmm. So I once went to a very big place many years ago. I went to a big place, a huge place, the probably one of the most famous shows in Brooklyn, right? Huge, and I thought that people there were very like angels. Somehow I thought that everybody's angel with 6 wings minimum, and it was Kabbalah Shabbos. It was the most disappointing experience in my life. I'm not going to mention the show, right? And people were walking constantly walking, and so many people like tight like sardine and walking and pushing you, and somebody's. They try to meet the friends to see who is there. It's like a club. You understand? So try to go and concentrate there. So in this case, you just close your eyes. So you close your eyes, even though you have siddur. So I mean, you see people from left and right. So it's not good. Okay, so the siddur is not going to help you much, basically. Yes.
In regards to all these halachas, just so that I know which questions to ask. When I'm pretty sure it's the Chazon Ish I saw in Rabbi Reuven's that the Chazon Ish said that unless something is specifically permissible, we count it as forbidden, and we don't like doubts, right? Something like that. So my question is, if we don't know halacha, right? This could be the halacha, this could not be the halacha. No, not like a double doubt or a single doubt, not that. I'm saying maybe there's something extra, a new halacha that I never heard of before, right? In regards to that, do we go leniently and say that halacha probably doesn't apply? For example, like I'll tell you, with mezainis, with rice, we say it's going to be brain of instead of al hamikir, right? But I thought, wait, maybe it's going to be Berkas Hamazon, because Berkas Hamazon, what does the pasuk say? When it satisfies you, right? And so
Yes.
right satisfies you. So over there, do we go leniently and say it's permitted because we don't know that there is such a halacha, or do we have to be stringent and ask if there is such a halacha?
No, you have to ask. You cannot assume things. So especially with just for all of us who did not understand what David just asked. So I quickly I want to elaborate. So basically we have rice, right? So rice is not of the 5 species of the grains that we say misonis on, right? But it's an exception. So I would suggest say, since half of the world do not eat bread as much, right? Half of the world eat bread, half of the world eat rice. So for them, rice is a bread, right? So it's like the staple food is for, let's say, for European countries is bread, but for Asian countries rice. They eat bread, but not as much as other people, right? So for them, this rice is staple food. So of course we cannot say it is bread because it's in the grains. You cannot say it's bread. But since it's side is satiates you and stuff like that, so we have it's mizoinus, right? And right, so we say mizoinus, but not everybody agrees. So okay, I mean the bottom line, we do that. But if somebody wants to go by all of the opinions that exist, so what he does, he does 2 different brachas. He takes some real mizonis cracker, say baremine mizonis on a cracker, say bare prichadama na piece of potato, let's say, and then we can eat rice. So, but we go straight. We just eat rice and say barena fashos like after any vegetable, let's say. So in this case, it's not that you can figure based on your previous knowledge. If you did not get to this point, you would not be able to, right? So, but it would be like in this specific case, just answer it this since it looks like it's not on the 5 grains, you can say because it is true statement that it grows from the ground. So, but the best way is to ask. So our rabbis say you have to ask questions. That's why there are so many rabbis available. Not of them, many of them do not qualify, but find it's your job. It says clearly in Perkei, make yourself a rabbi. Does not say find, no, make yourself a rabbi. So it's your responsibility to find somebody who is knowledgeable, who knows how to answer your questions. Otherwise, he give you a wrong answer. It's your fault. You pick him. He say, "Oh, I want to be right. Oh, yeah, I want to be right. Yeah. No, nobody ever listened to me in my life. I want to be around it." And I said, so it's your responsibility. You have to ask the right questions. Okay.
So I have to give you one more example because maybe this wasn't good because this is basically the rice because I might say Hashem's name 2 times in vain because Berkas Hamazon versus Avamiyah. But let's say, for example, the halacha, how you're supposed to put on your shoes, right, left, right, it takes precedence, so on and so forth. So I might think, wait, let's say I have a sefer in my hand, right? Which hand should I hold it in?
Okay. In your right
hand at all times. Maybe this is also the halacha.
No. Okay,
wait, I have to? That's halacha?
But you cannot. No. But this is common sense. You cannot do two halachas in the same time. Two actions at the same time. You cannot hold the sefer and tie your shoes at the same time. No, that's like common sense. So you put your sefer down, well, not down on the floor, but down on a table, and you tie the shoes, and then you take the sefer. So there is no contradiction.
Wait, no, that's not my question.
Okay, so let's wrap. Okay, so let's ask.
Okay.
Ask. Go ahead.
Okay, so the question is like this. The question is, let's say I have a sefer in my hand. I might think that I have to hold the sefer in my right hand, just like I'm supposed to go to my right shoe first. You understand?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Exactly. So my question is, but obviously there's no halacha such as to hold the sefer in your right hand. There's no halacha. So my question is, going by this logic, right? Because I can do a great kal v'chomer to say maybe the halacha is I have to hold it in my right hand. Do I have to ask a rabbi if there is such a halacha?
Yes, yeah. In case of the doubt, you must ask. What is the problem? I mean, you see, when somebody asks a question, it means that that person knows A, B, C, D, but he does know L, for example, right? Okay, so he has this knowledge, but not that specific knowledge. So when person asks question, it's a good question. It shows that he missing some parts. Understand? That's a good thing. Okay, so let's try to continue.
Why? Yeah, sure.
I want to get ahead of it. Okay, so let's continue. But let's save this question after the class. When necessary, a person should mark before the prayer those places in the Siddur or Magzor from which he must pray on that particular occasion, so that he should not have a search for a proper place in the middle of the prayer. Okay, so so what he said. So today you have our scroll, right? So he said, okay, you finish one Esra. Let's say today's Rosh Chodesh, so you go to Hallel. All right. Right after Shmones, you go to Hallel. You finish Hallel, you go on page 157. You finish from this to this, you go to, and they say Musaf. So you're always jumping. You say Musaf, you jumping back. You say Aleinu Shabeach, you say Psalm of the day, and you say Kaddish, basically. So, but not in all of the Siddurim, it's clearly marked what to do, right? So it says, and some of them, it's like, I see the Siddurim, like all in one. It's like somebody put the text. I mean, the text is good. The text, and just dump it and run. That's it. Like unbelievable. How? But people knew, basically. People knew what to say, what not to say. In a place where I used to go, it was like one unified siddur in different languages, ArScroll, right? So somebody would announce the page. So somebody new does not know, whatever they forgot, that today is Rosh Chodesh, whatever it is, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, it saves time and everybody's on the same page. They will announce the page. In the next place where I went, like on Shabbos, the Sephardic place, there are seven or eight different Siddurim, like has nothing to do with, nobody can, so everybody know what to do, basically. You understand? So a person who does not know, who comes second time in the shul, he is lost in 3 seconds. You understand? In the place where I go now, also they do not announce pages. Even on high holidays, everybody has different siddur. But here they say, I mean, and some people, they understand that they're in the wrong place, and they start looking, and they get frustrated that hasn't already 2 minutes in a new topic, and they still cannot find it. So they say, mark these appropriate pages, so you know what to say. That's what I gave many people that in my group. So I told them, okay, just create a sticky note, and I'm going to tell you the pages. You finish from this page to this page, then you jump to that page, and they always look. So I mean, it's easier for them than to read commentaries. Okay, but that's what Shulchan Aruch says. That's a person must be prepared so he would not lose his concentration. Continue. When praying Shmoneh Esrei, there should be nothing separated between him and the wall. Okay, so last time we learned in Shulchan Aruch, big one, but now it's Kitzur. Okay, so commentary is saying, see above 12:10. Where Kitzur discusses reference of making one's place of prayer next to the wall. Okay, so we didn't learn from this, but okay, So same halacha. This halacha speaks about those whose set place is not by the wall, and dictates that they should nevertheless ensure that there is nothing separated between them and the wall. So maybe like there is no praying spaces next to the wall, so he has to make sure there's no separation, no furniture between him and the wall. But this the wall thing, and it's mentioned many times halacha. So I'm not sure why that person said there's no I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So at these, I don't know, kollels or whatever, they have a special area next to our kodesh, where your Rosh Yeshivas come and so on and so forth. The special people in the middle.
Yes.
Now, usually there's nobody there because you don't have, a celebrity like that coming often, right? Maybe once a half year or whatever, right? So my question is, are you allowed, according to halacha, since you have to daven next to the wall, to go to this wall and daven?
No. This you cannot. That's too much. That's pretentious to sit in his place. So I tell you more. In the shul where I go now, it was a rabbi, and he was a rabbi for more than 40 years plus. He was a rabbi, original rabbi who built the shul, and he was there for many years. Basically. I don't know how many years. So his seat is still there. So this new rabbi that came, he said, "I'm not going to sit in. I cannot fill that seat." So that seat they left empty, and they put the new rabbi on another side of the Aruch Kodesh, basically. Because it is disrespect. Same. It says that one in the laws. We're going to get to it. Respected of the parents. So and one of the examples that Shulchan gives. So you're not allowed to sit in your father's chair. So if father has designated place, you're not allowed to sit at that place. So it's a disrespect. So and needless to say, this big rabbi. So if there is that place is only available, so you're not allowed. So just find your place when you there is no separation between wall and yourself. So you can sit in the first row. There is no problem.
Very quickly, let's say I have a rabbi at yeshiva, right? And he has a certain place to daven in. When he stops davening, am I allowed to go and sit in his? No. But
we're going to learn it. So if he's not there, and it's maybe it's a little different. But if he just finished, so it looks like he didn't do such a good job. I'm going to do it better in his place. So don't do it.
Well, what if you daven in a kollel and everybody's a rabbi? Then it's not like they're assigned seats,
No. If there is no assigned seat, but we said before in Shulchan that a person should have assigned seat. Not assigned, but designated area. So he should daven from the same place. Wherever you go to different shul, you should have a same space. Okay, you don't go there only at night, so on Marif, and somebody came guest and he sit in your place. So they say 4 amos, this 2 meters 8 feet is actually your makom, your place where you can sit there. But try to sit as close as possible to your regular place. Same in the house. You want to pray. You're forced, you're sick, you need to pray from your house. So you have to pray from specific place. Don't go from room to room. If it's necessary, if there is noisy and not guests came and stuff like that, so you're allowed to go to a different place, but it's as an exception. Okay, so let's try to continue. So we're talking about when the Prince Shmoneh said there should be nothing separate between him and the wall. Okay, we just commented. As Yeshayahu 38:2 states, Hiskiyahu turned his face to the wall and prayed. An object is not considered separation with regard to the halacha unless it is 10 tefachim high. So 10 tefachim is, as we say, approximately. Okay, they say between 31.5 and 37.9 inches, and it's from 80 to 96 centimeters, right? And Okay. Okay. So only this high is considered like a separate place, right? Place is a halakhic place that's considered a legal separation. Okay. However, smaller objects are not considered a separation. Moreover, even a large object, if it is a permanent fixture, right, such as ark or a table, upon which the Torah is read. So not every table. Every table, I think they're movable, unless they like screwed to the floor. So those are permanent fixtures. They're not considered interruptions. So commentaries say, Sita Safos Brachas 5b, this would apply to any closet or table in a synagogue. Okay, so meaning like permanent fixtures. Okay, continue. It is not considered to be separation. Okay. In addition, anything that is used for the prayers, even if it is movable, such as stand or podium upon which the prayer book placed to be read, is not considered separation. So all of these chairs, all of these benches, they need it for the prayer, so they not consider, or tables, right? So they're not considered the interruption, basically, separations. Continue. People also do not constitute separation, as we said before. In a pressing need, there is no need to insist on proximity to the wall, in a pressing need, right? As long as he closes his eyes or pray from Siddur, so that his concentration is not disturbed. So first priority next to the wall, or to, sometimes there are books in front of the, other books in front of the, sometimes, sorry. So try to, you can pray next to the books, but in this case, if you pray next to the bookshelves, you have to pray from Siddur or with closed eyes, because your eyes are going to wander and read all of these title covers and stuff like that, which is not good. Right? So it's very big distraction. Okay, so commentaries say one should certainly not leave to go to a different place to pray for a lack of clear path between him and the wall. So basically, that's clear, right? If you have this separation, that separation, I mean, after the fact, the best way is to pray with minyan, right? All of the separation is only for our concentration, right? Okay, no problem. So continue. Likewise, so as not to disturb his concentration, right? He should not pray facing any illustration. Okay, as we said, or just books, right? The titles, he's going to read them. If it is happened to, go ahead.
Does an illustration count as a marble wall or no?
I don't think so. No, it's something like, I mean, of course, people can imagine, they just look at the marble wall and imagine, I don't know, that they see pictures, they have lines, stars, and angels, of course. But we're talking about normal paintings, like sometimes they will have some kind of decoration in the show.
Understand.
Some artistic things. Okay. So one more time. Likewise, so not to disturb his concentration, he should not pray facing any illustration. So, but even if I just want to go back in the case of your marble wall, if he has this wild imagination that he would see lions and elephants and giraffes just looking at the marble wall, so he's not allowed. Just look at the cedar then. You understand? It is if it happened to him that he had to pray facing tapestry or the decorated section of the wall, he should pray with his eyes closed, exactly as you said, right? Or from Siddur. However, it is forbidden to pray facing a mirror, even with closed eyes. So let me see commentary, and we're going to explain. One who prays facing a mirror appears to be bowing to his own reflection. See Mishnah Brura. That's a big one. And same we say even with mirror, it's understandable. It looks like he is bowing to himself. But even if in a glass, right, in a window, if it's like such a clean window that he can see his own reflection, so it's also could be a problem. So if he stares at himself while he's talking, that's the problem. You understand? And plus, praying next to the window could, I mean, if it's on a street level, right? If he can see what's going on, so basically just looking through the window, that's the problem, because it's going to distort his concentration. But if he's on, I don't know, the fourth floor, he cannot see what's going on the street, so there is not much distraction, I guess. But all cases are different, basically. So one more time, facing a mirror, you cannot even pray with your eyes closed. Okay. But usually there are no mirrors in a shul, let's say, but in your house it could be a mirror. So try to avoid. Yeah.
So why am I allowed? Not because of this reason, not because it looks like you're bowing to yourself, but because of distractions. Why am I allowed to daven from, let's say, my phone? Like from a sit on my phone, I can definitely see my reflection if it's a white screen.
No. You cannot see it. You basically when you look at your phone, you're concentrated on the words. So even if you put I think there is no reflection. The reflection only when you can see your own reflection when your phone is closed. Then you see. But when it's white screen and with the letters, I don't think you can able to see it. Okay. Continue. One should not pray in open area, such as field. Oh, this guy said we allow field, because when a person in a private area, there is enclosed space, the king HaShem comes over to him, and his heart is broken and submissive. However, if he is traveling, he is permitted to pray in a field. But if he can't, he should pray among the trees. So let's try to understand what is going on. So from the beginning of this piece, and we're going to explain. One should not pray in open areas such as field, and a closed area that does not have ceiling is not considered the opening or open with regard to this halacha, Mishnah Berurah. So where will you have this? I remember that Mishnah Berurah gave explanation. I think like on the fairs, like in the summer fair, and they would put separation in between one booth to another. So, but there is no ceiling. I mean, of course, I mean, they don't want to. They want to use sunlight. You understand? So this thing would be like a closed up area. Okay, so what is the problem? One more time. One should not pray in open area such as field, because a person that in a private area, there is an enclosed area, the awe of the king HaShem comes over him. Like when you like in a smaller area, not with the walls basically, and his heart is broken and submissive when he feels like pressure. Right? However, if he's traveling, it is permitted to him to pray in the field, but if he can, he should pray among the trees. So, like also like surrounded by the tree, and better to pray next to a tree. It's not like you pray into the tree, just as a wall. So it's better. Person have a better concentration, but there is something in front of him. You understand? So that's the thing. Number 4 is since it is slightly more secluded. Okay, we mean a bit before among the trees. Okay, so checking time. Okay. All right, so maybe we can do one more halacha. A person should not burp or yawn while reciting Shemona Esrei. That's big issue, right? Okay, so meaning that it's a big disrespect to the king. I mean, you one second, let me just say, you stand in front of the king and you're going to yawn, you're going to burp. A person who usually die, he would die on the spot better than do it in front of the king. Okay, go ahead.
When we say Shemona Esrei, does this also apply to the paragraph afterwards, Eloi Kai, or no?
No, it's different. So it said that Shmona Esra ends there. Even though you didn't take 3 steps back, but Shmona Esra ended. I mean, we're going to get to that parable later on. So basically, you stand in front of the king, and then now you're going to burn. Okay, so I mean, it's like self-understood, but continue. Kitzur now explained the unfamiliar Hebrew term, gihuk and pihuk. The term gihuk refers to a verb, where a person occasionally expels from his body to his mouth a sudden strong exaltation from the feeling of satiety. So that he ate a lot and now he does whatever he does. Which was the order of the food that he has eaten. And sometimes like people would do it like, and it's silently. I mean, he didn't hear what is it? The sound, but the stench comes out of his mouth. It's so I mean, I don't know if you experience this, but it's very disgusting, basically, right? Some offer different explanation and say that it refers to a stench, which a person stenches out of his body and arms due to the feeling heaviness of the limbs. No, I apologize. No. Some offer them different explanation and say that it refers to the stretch. I'm sorry, stretch, not stretch. Stretch, which the person stretches out his body, like the bones, like cracking of the bones, right? I guess of his body and arms, like people say cracking up their fingers. Oh, that's annoying. And arms due to the feeling of heaviness of the limbs. The Torah pihuk refers to a yom, right? Where a person opens his mouth, opens his jaws wide, in the manner of one who feels the need to sleep, or one who just woke up from the sleep. Okay, so that's what's all from Kitzur. If one feels unavoidable urge to do so, he should put his hand on his mouth. So when you want to yawn, so you close your mouth, basically, so that the opening of his mouth is not seen. So I mean, sometimes you cannot control it, and you cannot swallow it or whatever. So you just close your mouth. It also forbidden for one to spit during the Shmona Esra. If the flame comes into his mouth and it causes him distress to the point that his concentration on his prayer is disturbed, he should expel it into the handkerchief or cloth so that it's not visible. So today, lucky we have this all of this facial tissue. Right? You should have always few facial tissues in your hand. So if you need to spit, you need to clean your mouth. That's you do it with a tissue, not with whatever, because you cannot move. If this causes him revulsion, meaning that he is going to have this like in his pocket now. Right, he spit it in this handkerchief, and now he put it in his pocket. That he's revolted now, right? He should lean to his left and spit behind him. So meaning to the left and spit behind him. So never. So since we said before that he is standing in front of the Shekhinah, so he cannot spit in front. Right? David explained us very important side. We don't spit to the right. So the only option. For now, I mean, if there is nobody there, he spits to the left. Okay, go ahead.
So you cannot spit leaving the place you are praying and go to the the trash bin.
No, not in this case. So we're going to get to halachas in which case you are allowed to move during the Shmona Esra. But it's very, very specific situations. This is not one of them. So as he just said, so I mean, in our times it's easy. You just have a paper tissue in your pocket. You spit into the paper tissue, and that's it. But in the shoes, like at least here in America, like you go, and they have these boxes with the tissue everywhere. So where I sit, like next to me, like at least maybe two boxes. And I say you just take one, or I always have mine in a pocket, except on Shabbos.
So neither you are allowed to contain the spit, because that
exactly because okay, that's exactly he said. So if he can swallow down, okay, let him do that, right? But if he feels disgusted, he can. I mean, he would not be able to concentrate. He would be disgusted. He would like so in this case, and he has no place to spit it into, like piece of cloth. They say there's in our case it's facial tissue. He should turn back. Of course, if there is nobody there, of course, if there is a person there, so he's better not to spit. Okay, you understand? Continue. You got it? Did we answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, so continue. Okay, so we say he should lean to his left and spit behind him. If he cannot spit behind himself, so I mean there are people, he may spit to his left. So behind him there is person, so to the left. Right, commentary. See above 3.4, which states that the right side of a person is given preference and respect, as we discussed today. Here too, one should not spit to his right side. Okay, that's the problem. If he cannot spit to the left, he may spit to the right. So basically, not in front. Okay, he tried to right back. If there is somebody there, just simply to the right. Commentary. However, if there is two is not possible and it is causing him distress, he may even spit in front of him. Mishnah Berurah. So, because it's too much distress, and basically he cannot continue with the prayer, but so he can spit to the front, but cover the spittle basically with his shoes or something. Okay. Okay, so continue. I mean, the next one does not apply to us. It's very interesting. If Laos beat him, he may shift his clothing to dislodge it. Okay, so he has lice. So in olden days, especially, there were many lice. So he can get rid of it basically. So commentary. There is he may grasp the lice through his garment and remove it from his body. So basically, I guess kill it, like throw it. Let's say under his shorts, so he can kill it with under his shorts. Okay. However,
just to be clear, aren't lice we're talking about the lice in your hair, that type of lice?
Yes. But in the olden days, it was not only in your hair; it was everywhere. Everywhere, in all your clothes, like in a third world country, it's still there. It's yeah. Go ahead, Israel.
What was flies?
Lice. It's
an insect.
Insect. Louse. It's like it's small, right? It's like for example, I had once when I was little. It was like we didn't like I was in a camps or something, so we didn't wash our head for hair. Time. And it comes with and they then give you like special soap. You wash it with this soap smells so terribly, so everybody knew who had lice basically. And then then the best option basically to cut hair completely. Otherwise, they're still there.
Yeah, and another thing is if some animal is trying to attack, for example, a snake or an insect that bites, is that a bad sign, Simon?
No, okay. So, is it a bad sign? I don't know. For sure, it's not a good sign that it's trying to attack you. But in this case, you're allowed to move, basically. So we're dealing with the laws of Shmona Esrei when it says that, so the general rule, you're not allowed to move. But there are some cases, like for example, as you said, cases where there is danger to life or even to health.
But move or defend or kill the animal that is trying to attack.
Yeah, you can kill the animal for sure.
For example, a snake in the ancient times.
For sure, you can even you're obligated to kill people who are trying to attack you.
Okay.
Yeah, needless to say, the snake. Okay. Okay, so continue. If Laos beat him, Laos is a singular from Laos, right? Beat him, he may shift the clothes into the dislodge it, so that so his concentration is not disturbed by it. So basically, kill it and let it drop, right? However, he should not remove it directly with his hands. So that's one of the things that, as we said before, Laos make hands impure. Commentary. See above. Okay, yeah, it's in the very beginning in the Sima number 2. See 9, which states that one who touches Laos must wash his hands, right? Because it's like this kind of special impurity. If
aren't mice microscopic, or because it makes it sound like it's a mouse, like it's something you could just take off like that?
No, they say it's like I don't know if you know barley size. I think it's like a little less than a barley, like maybe half of the barley size. But maybe if they got fat from eating a person, so it would be much bigger.
Understood.
Okay, so let's. Sorry, so we're about to finish. One second. So we say if he removes with the hands, also problem is now he has to go wash his hands. If while praying his talus slipped off, he may return to its place, even if most of it fallen off his body. Okay, so that's the big one. So sometimes people who do not pay attention, I don't know, they're not so sensitive, right? They pray with the talus and it slips off, and they don't even know. I mean, maybe they're big tzaddikim and they saw into the prayer, right? And so they did not feel. So if it did not fell completely, there is no problem. He can fix it, right? But it says, however, if it fallen off completely, so to the ground, right, he may not himself in it again, as would constitute an interruption of the prayer. So let's see, commentary. There is none of it was on his body. That means falls completely. Even if he was still holding in his hands, it is considered completely off his body. So it fell. I mean, it was fallen, and he's caught it as he thought on time, but it's only on his hands, in his hands, not in his body and on the floor. So he cannot put it back. It's very interesting. It says it would be considered an interruption of the prayer. So just to fix it, there is no problem. But if it's off the body, you cannot put it again, because as we said before, you need to say new blessing. Okay, so let's see above 9:10. Mishnah Brura writes 97:16 that if standing without his talus will cause him loss of concentration on his prayer, he may put it back on between blessings. Okay, so like again to preserve his concentration. So some people will pray with talus over his head, their head. So that would be the thing. Continue. If while praying Shmona Esrei, a sefer fell down on the floor in front of him, so he's a thing. Okay, so this is one of the cases when you can interrupt, and this causing his concentration to be disturbed. He may pick it up when he reaches the point between the blessings. So it's the first time, I guess, or second scenario where we say that you are obligated, you are allowed to interrupt your prayer into something else. So he's in front of the bookshelf, and somebody like finish praying, or they put it like book like on not very accurately. Now the book fell, Sidur fell, or Chumash fell on the floor, so you cannot concentrate. So you're allowed to stop your praying because you're always looking at this Chumash. right? You in your mind is it's only like when I'm going to finish prayer, and I can put it back on the shelf. Can I do it? Can I not do it? So Kitzur said, yeah. If it bothers you, you stop praying, put it back, and continue praying from there. So, but do it only between the paragraph. Don't do it like in the middle of the paragraph.
Rabbi, if you move purposely for no reason, do you keep davening or no?
Yes. Some people just in the middle they just forgot that they are praying. They start walking. Whoa! Yeah, go ahead.
What is it? Does this like? Are you allowed to do it during Shemona Esrei or?
Yeah. We're talking about all of the halachas that we covered only in the middle of Shemona Esrei. So and it felt this chumash. Let's say chumash. This Torah fell and it bothers you. I mean, chumash is on the floor and I'm continuing down. Or tefillin fell. Like you have rows of the tables, right? And you're on the second row, and somebody put his tefillin on the edge of the table, right? And he went to the bathroom, whatever. He finished down it, and it fell. So you cannot continue praying.
I have another question. What if when they say Yiskadal,
Kaddish.
Yeah, Kaddish. Like if you're like doing like, let's just say like Baruch Shem or Asher, like you would like stop or like any other prayer and like wait for them to finish and then keep reading. Are you allowed to do that during Shemona Esrei, or you have to keep?
Yes.
You could stop.
So okay. So in those places actually where you say about Baruch Shamar, in some places you're allowed to answer. Some parts, not all, everything. Some parts you Rabbi, so you're allowed to answer. But during the Shemona Esrei, you're not allowed to answer anything. Zero.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But in this case, listening or hearing is 100% count as you answering.
Are you even allowed
to answer amen? It's counted like you answer amen. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Are you even allowed to stop in the middle of a paragraph?
Preferably not. I mean, but you see, you hear what is going on around you. Like that this Kaddish is coming. I don't know, even in 30 seconds. So just it's better to finish whatever you finish. Just wait for them 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever necessary, and let them say Kaddish. You listen and you continue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so continue. We're almost finished. Okay. All things that one is prohibited to engage during the Shemona Esrei prayer are forbidden until he takes the 3 steps back following the prayers. So basically, okay, so continue. It is only with regard to the interruption for the congregational responses that there is a difference between the recitation of the blessings themselves and one who has completed the blessing but not yet taken 3 steps back. I will explain in CF14. So I mean, we're going to get, but that's what David was asking. I don't want to go ahead. There are few things, I think, if I remember correctly, 3 things that you are allowed to answer in that thing, right? And in that last paragraph. So you finish from the Esrei, but there is one more extra paragraph. So you're allowed, if I remember correctly, answer Kiddusha to first answering Kadosh, 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 right? In the second, and you're allowed to say Hey Shmei Rabbah. You're not allowed to say Amen, but you're allowed to say Amen on Hakel Hakadosh. So meaning right after Kiddusha, you should say Amen, and Shomer Tefillah, who accept our prayer. So first one is a holiness of the name in English, right? So you must answer Amen there, even though you did not take 3 steps back. I mean, we're going to learn. Second is Shomer Tefillah, who accept our Tefillah. And then the next thing when they say Modim, when everybody bow, you're allowed to say 3 first words, not the whole Modim, not that we gracefully thank you. So only Modim Anachnu, only a few words. Okay, so basically we can stop here. I think we did very well today. So we covered 2 halachas, which is good, I think. All right, so now we're open for questions, any topic. Go ahead.
Why in, I think it's last week's parsha, where Rashi says that the nun, and I think it's maybe the last sentence was switched. It got switched, right? The tradition used to be that the nun was switched, and now they made it normal. Why would they change how the Sefer Torah?
No. Nobody changed the Sefer Torah. I mean, if you want, I have Rashi. I can get Rashi and see what he says. I mean, it will take me a few minutes.
Understood. Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to just send me the verse after the class, and we can look at it tomorrow.
Understood. Okay.
A second. Okay. Any other questions?
Here, in an international flight, which takes so much time, and the time is like randomly changing. How are you exempt to pray, or have to pray, or you have to pray on a plane?
Yes, you're obligated to pray on a plane.
And which time zone you use?
So this plane is it's a place of danger. You understand? So you have to pray with a even better concentration when you're on a plane. So basically, you're right. So let me just explain the situation. So, for example, when you fly from New York, from America, you fly to Israel, right? So usually all of the planes, they leave at night. So what you do? So you pray Marif, the evening prayer, right? You board the plane, and as soon as you wake up, basically, right? So you have to pray Shmon. You have to pray Shachar. So it's not clear. It's not clear what time is in the place where you are right now. It's not clear. So try to do it as soon as possible as you see the sun, and start praying. You understand? So even in a plane itself, it shows you the time in a place where you left, and in a time and destination. But it does not show you time in the place where you're at now. You understand? So the time is like shrinks, of course. So you must pray as soon as possible.
Okay. Another thing is I heard I don't remember now where, that if the tefillin falls to the ground, you have, I'm not sure if to fast or to do something special.
Yes. So some people fast, some people give tzedakah.
Oh.
So you can do tzedakah to exempt you from the fast.
But there is some exemption that where you don't have to fast. For example, I don't know, wind was too strong. Someone opened the door, wind enter, the tefillin fall.
Exactly. I mean, so in this case, you just do tzedakah. If tzedakah, small tzedakah, you have to do. Because it's still your fault. It was accidental, but it was still your fault. So, for example, people have gold or whatever in their house. They would hide in the safe, and they make sure nobody knows where the safe is, and they themselves even forget where the safe is. So it's so secure. You're not going to lose that ring. You understand? So if you would treat the tefillin the same way, no wind would ever bother it. So of course it's not your fault. It's usually not windy. It's usually not this, but because it happened to you, it's your fault. So that's why in a temple, when a person did something inadvertently, so he would lean on the wall, and it was a switch, and he would turn on the light. It was accident, 100% accident. So he would have to bring the sacrifice. If he did it specifically, that's his own intention to turn on the light, he does not bring the sacrifice. Yeah, you understand? So there is no simple forgiveness for him to him. But they say, okay, I did it like accidentally. I lean on a wall and I turn on the light. So like, why would I? And that guy does not bring sacrifice. It's like a reverse logic. So I said there is no reverse logic. So if you would be careful, you would not do that. So and it's small payment for whatever we do. But this guy, it's not so easy for him to remove this thing, to get an atonement.
Rabbi, so I found it specifically. I'll read it for you word for word in the art scroll. Okay.
Just slow. Oh yeah, slow.
Yes. Okay. So Rashi says.
No. Forget what Rashi said. What is the verse?
Okay. The verse says, the last pasuk in Noach says, the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Okay? So Rashi says, the nun is inverted. Okay, so that then it gives footnote number 5. I'll read you footnote number 5. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
It says, many sources cite the tradition that the nun of Bechoron is inverted. However, it is written in the normal manner in contemporary, means, recent Torah scrolls.
Yes.
So back then it says tradition that it was like this, and now in the Sefer Torah it's like this.
I know it's a good question. I now I remember reading this. I'm not sure why is that. I'm not sure. But there are many places when last year I'm trying to read the commentary of the Torah with different commentators. Like last year I did Baal HaTurim. So Baal HaTurim, he was into all of these numerical values, all of the how the shape of the letter. So basically, like it's not everybody agree on the shape of the letter. So some of them like bend it a little, and there are like the 3 different schools of thought how it should be bended. Bent, and everybody agree it's not a regular nun. Let's say everybody agree, but how much bent or the crowns, how the crowns look, like how many crowns. It's also not everybody. So I mean there is things, but they do not change the meaning. I said, but this nun, but it's still the emphasis of the nun is clear, right? They want to say that this guy was still alive, basically. It said, even though it says that he died, but he lived many years. If Rashi does calculations, I don't know, he did another maybe 70 years, even after this verse was written.
Just to be clear, we see Terah did Teshuva because his name is mentioned twice in the parsha, or why? Or why do we say?
I think I don't know. He did Teshuva later on, but I think it's just oral tradition that we have that he did Teshuva. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe they get support from here, but I'm not sure. But at this point, when Abraham left Terah, he did not do Teshuva. He was a Terah, the Terah that who you need to leave behind, basically. So in all our lives, we have all of these Terahs. So if you know such a Terah, just do what Abraham. Father, I love you very much. You fed me for how many years? Whatever, you did all of the good things for me. But now, Father, okay, be good. I'm going to write you. I'm going to call on Skype. We're going to talk. Have a good time. I send you pictures, but basically I gotta go on my mission. Okay, or you have a question? No, you're good? All right. So we stop here. Any other questions? Okay, so let's stop here. Very nice. So tomorrow, same time, but different subject. We're going to do different subject.
אני מברך את הרבנים, אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה. הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה. שבכל אשר יפנו ישכילו ויצליחו. יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הגדילו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה. איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.